unseen effort. Alistair knew the mathematics of a fulfilled life. He had built his world on solid foundations, a steady career, a quiet home, and an unshakable commitment to his family. He often looked at his life and smiled. 99%. 99% was spectacular, magnificent even. It was the careful budgeting, the late-night calls, the early mornings spent researching. It was the silent, steady scaffolding that held everyone up. That last single, persistent 1%, however, was reserved for his parents, Edward and Vivienne. It was the sliver of satisfaction that always seemed to slip away, like a shadow at noon. He had paid off their mortgage years ago, ensuring their peace. He drove the long distance every Sunday, ensuring their company. He had followed the career path they'd suggested, ensuring their pride. Just last week, he'd mentioned a new promotion, a real achievement. His father, Edward, had paused only to say, "That's good, son. But have you thought about getting into upper management? You need to network more." He loved his mother, Vivienne, more than he could say, but her love language was worry. "You're working too hard, dear. Are you getting enough sleep? Don't you think you should eat more greens?" It wasn't criticism, it was simply a lack of seeing. They saw his potential for more, his current state as a work in progress, but they didn't see the quiet exhaustion of the man who had already given everything. The 1% was the small, cold stone he carried, the misunderstanding. He knew they loved him, but it felt conditional. Conditional on a version of him he was no longer sure he had the energy to become. That night, Alistair sat down and did something radical. He accepted the 99%. He folded up the blueprints for the perfect son and chose to be the honest one. He decided that the missing 1% wasn't theirs to give. He would still budget, still visit, still love, but he would stop chasing the invisible approval. The 99% of satisfaction he had created was enough. It was his own, whole, and completely fulfilling.
Collect memories, not worries.